say that I'm grateful that I don't own a Tesla.
I would sell that son of a bitch so fast if I had it.
No, everybody's nixed that. Because I said, really, can I say that there? They said no.
Did you really ask?
I did, yeah.
It is 10:30. 10:30. Good morning, Al. I hear you on that. How quickly things change, you know?
Well, boy, has time slipped away this morning. But here we are.
Would everyone please stand if you're willing and able so we can sing our opening song? We are all friends here.
There are no strangers once you walk inside that door. We welcome you to linger in this family of love and hold you in our hearts the way you are. We are all friends here. There are no strangers once you walk inside that door. We welcome you to linger in this family of love and hold you in our hearts the way you are. We are all friends here. There are no strangers once you walk outside that door. We welcome you to linger in this family of love and hold you in our hearts the way you are. And hold you in our hearts the way you are. And hold you in our hearts the way you are.
Before you have a seat, let's do our congregational blessing. Together, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. And we are blessed. And now, please have a seat. My name is Reverend Ken, and I will be the minister today, and I would like to welcome Reverend Marygrace, which will be providing our message today. And Nicole will be our platform. So we are blessed. So to begin our service, let's do an opening prayer. If you're comfortable closing your eyes and feel God's grace within you, the love and joy that is manufactured within your heart, manufactured to share, the palms down on your path of love and joy, prosperity. So as you move forward into your day, you are blessed. You are held in divine love. And we ask that through this service, you be blessed with insight, grace. And now I would like to ask Mary to come forward and light our Christ candle. And as our candle is lit, let's say together the reason we light it. We light this candle to remind us that the light of Christ lives within each one of us. I am the light of Christ, and we are blessed. And now if I could ask Janice to come forward and ring our singing bowl. And remember that this is for the heart chakra, to open up our hearts so that we may be in tune with everything that goes on around us, feeling that love. And now I would like to invite Nicole up for our gratitude and blessings.
Hey, thank you. So, anybody have any sharing gratitude? Okay, I'll go first then. So, two things. First of all, I was blessed this morning to get up just in time to see that beautiful full pink moon go down below the mountain. So, literally, like I think the last minute it was possible to see it, I happened to see it. And the second thing is I got a settlement from Facebook, one of those class action settlements. So that was cool. So that went in my yellow envelope today. So if anybody else has any gratitude or sharing something about this beautiful spring day. No, nothing. Oh, Diana, see, somebody has something.
Yeah, there's always something. So Friday night, I'm just grateful for Unity and Reading. Friday night, Janice and I had our group Prescription Pets. We had a dinner for like 35 people here, and it went so well. And we're so grateful for the space.
And I got a call from the hospital, and I went down there, and he had a concussion, so he doesn't remember what happened. But he fractured his cheek and his sinus, and then they said they might have to do an MRI because his C5 and C6, there was swelling in his spine. They might have to do surgery. So I just felt myself say, no, there's nothing wrong with his spine. I didn't want him to have surgery. And it turned out that after a few hours of, I guess, resting there in the bed with one of those collars on, the doctor told him, we're going to keep you overnight because of the concussion, but we'll check tomorrow. And I guess they checked again, and he was fine, so they let him go home the next day. But he still doesn't remember what happened.
Thank you, Jack.
I'm grateful for plants.
Okay. Oh, Shelba? Over here? Okay.
Yes, did I get a delightful surprise this morning, and so grateful for this beautiful gift from Marygrace. Many years ago, Corinne, Valerie, Menard, and I were married in Colorado Springs by the Unity ministers there, Tom and Edie Skalitsky. That was about 1989. They were wonderful, just wonderful, both ministers and delightful people, and just wonderful. Had a very nice little church there in Colorado Springs. Anyway, they were dear friends of Marygrace, and particularly Lucille and Jean. And Edie Skalitsky made this, isn't it to die for? And we love these kinds of things. This kind of art is hanging throughout our house, believe it or not. And anyway, so today, Reverend Marygrace presented me with this as a gift from Tom, Edie Skalitsky, Lucille, and Jean, and this will be treasured forever and ever, and how generous and how wonderful our Reverend Marygrace is. That's something to be grateful for, right? Woo! Madame.
Okay, Shelba.
I'm grateful for Jerry's candies and that her hand was well enough to make Easter goodies this year, and looking forward to them.
Great, thank you. Janice, see, once we get on a roll, never stops.
Well, Diana talked about the dinner that we had with Prescription Pets therapy dogs, but Jerry donated several of her big chocolate bunny boxes with the M&Ms in them. And so I had a 8-year-old that pulled the drawing for the tickets and everything. And so he ended up, he got a ticket too, and he ended up winning a prize. And so he picked out one of the few little pieces broken in it. And I thought, oh my gosh, he must have dropped her, it got crushed or something. So I asked him, he goes, oh no, I'm eating it.
Right. Okay. Any more gratitude sharing? Yes. And glory.
In the light, in the love.
In the light and the love.
All right, so this is definitely an exciting song.
So you gotta stand up.
If you're willing and able to stand, if you have a shaker.
I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory. I am.
Are you feeling it, the light?
In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory. I am. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory.
Sing it like you mean it.
I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. Love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory. I am. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory. I am. I am in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory.
One more time.
In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am.
Feel it raining down on you.
In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am.
Just let it come through you.
In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am.
Now seal the deal.
In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory. I am.
Woo!
Wasn't sure whether I'd received the calling today or not, but God, that Tom and Edie took me back in memories. Sometimes, whew, it's glorious. 35, 36 years ago, we got married at sunrise on a little lake outside of Colorado Springs on a pier with our intimate friends and 2 dogs, and Tom and Edie, who struggled to make that commitment, as well as the friends who partied a bit the night before. It was an interesting sunrise service, but glorious. I did want to say that I will be with you in spirit next Sunday, as I think I mentioned earlier, a really good friend of mine struggled with Parkinson's for a number of years and finally made this transition, and they are having a celebration of service on next Saturday, and I'll be going to the Seattle area as well as attending that memorial service, but I will be with you in spirit. And my guess is Jack will be stepping up here to do a wonderful job. Ho! Whoa. Okie doke. Today, Palm Sunday, an inspirational affirmation. I celebrate the divine presence within. Please join with me. I celebrate the divine presence within. Today is Palm Sunday, the commemoration of Jesus' arrival in Jerusalem that symbolizes the awakening of the Christ awareness in humankind. Those who followed Jesus into Jerusalem shouted, "Hosanna! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord." Imagining this joyous scene, I feel inspired to follow Jesus' action and express more and more of the love, peace, joy, and light of my Christ nature. As Holy Week begins, I open my heart and mind, body, and share the Christ of my being. I feel blessed knowing others around the world are doing the same. Together, we bring peace and healing to the world and to one another, fulfilling the promise of Jesus. So special thoughts, especially in today's times, here and throughout the world. I'd like to share that again. Together, we bring peace and healing to the world and to one another, fulfilling the promise of Jesus. These words inspired by John, the 12th chapter, 13th verse. So they took branches of palm trees and went out to meet him, shouting, "Hosanna! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord." And as only they can do, my brother and sister from the mountain and our Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily as we forgive our debtors, and leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
As always, awesome. Now it's this time in our service where we go into a little bit of a meditation. We just take that time to go within, into that heart space where Jesus is. He came here to teach us how to love ourselves,
and love our neighbors. And in his death, he left us physically, but not through the soul. He entered within each and every one of us, giving us that divine knowing that whatever you want, whatever your desires are, you can manifest. You can bring it to life. I've had people come to me and tell me all these wonderful things that happen. And they've gone into that belief, that knowing that it is yours. And when you do that, it will come. So as we go through this day looking at the wonderful things that have happened in our lives, let go of what no longer serves you and come into that knowing. For I read something this morning that talked about Jesus always being there with us. Jesus always knowing what you want before you even realize you want it, no matter what. We are alive. And if we come together in this oneness of love, sharing it with each other throughout the whole world, things will change. It will be that love and light for everyone, everywhere. So let's take a few deep breaths and let's go within. Just take a couple of minutes to be with that divine spirit that's within you. So join me now by taking that deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out if you want. And now, as we come back into this time and space, bringing that love and light, we come back to community prayer. And this is where we want to speak all those names of our family and friends, new acquaintances, and hold them in that same love and light. So join me now by speaking their names aloud. And I'd like to bring our prayer box into that same love and light for all of those names that have been put in there. We know without a doubt that whatever they've asked for, whatever we're asking for our friends It is done. Know it. Believe it. Have that faith. So join me now by confirming this. Confirm all of it nice and strong by speaking your name aloud. So through the power and the presence that always dwells within every one of us, I say thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. And we're going to have some more music right now, but I believe you get to sit and relax.
You can continue your meditation.
And you wrote this song when? For what?
Well, yeah, I actually wrote this song, this next song, for a Unity church on Palm Sunday. And so it was some years ago. That church is no longer together, but the Spirit lives on. You are the conscience, you are the kindness, you are responsible for thought and deed. You are the connector, you are the protector of all that's good in this world. The moment I arise, I awake. I don't hesitate to ride into the city of my dreams, illuminated, praying in the garden. It is clear that the fear is just a shadow, and the power of our lives comes together in God's eyes. If you could see as I see, you are my eyes in this world. If you could do as I do, you are my hands in this world. If you could feel as I feel, you are my heart in this world. If you could dream as I dream, you are my hope in this world. My life to serve a better world. The path of peace before me. My life to hold an eternity of vision. Creation's embrace. If you could see as I see, you are my eyes in this world. If you could do as I do, you are my hands in this world. If you could feel as I feel, you are my heart in this world. If you could dream as I dream, you are my hope in this world.
church in Reading this morning and seeing all of your lovely faces. Today's Palm Sunday, which we already talked about because Al told us from the Daily Word. And historically, it's the Sunday of the triumphant entry into Jerusalem, just as the Daily Word spoke about. And the last week, the beginning of the last week of Jesus' earthly life, right? And although most people didn't know it then, I'm sure. Excuse me. So last year on Palm Sunday, Erin had a 4-year-old daughter, Eva. She's 5 now. And she had a sore throat, kind of like I do. And so she had to stay home from church with the neighbor next door. And when she came home, they were carrying the palm branches, just like she has. Kay has it in her hand, waving. And Eva goes, "What's the palm branch for?" And she goes, "Oh, they waved it over Jesus' head when he walked in." And she goes, "The one Sunday I don't go to church and Jesus shows up." So Palm Sunday is a special day. It's a day of hope and infinite possibilities. Deepak Chopra said that hope is really about opening up ourselves to infinite possibilities. Opening ourselves up to infinite possibilities. What could it be? What will it look like? I'm sure you've had plans in your life and they have not turned out the way you expected. Anybody else? Totally different, right? And there are infinite possibilities that are in store for us when we follow Jesus' teachings. To love one another, to ask believing it's already so, having faith and forgiveness in our hearts for others, and most especially ourselves. So that's what it was, a day of hope. And as Jesus is making his preparations for his triumphant entry into Jerusalem, there was excitement in the air. Passover was about to begin. Passover is on Thursday, which is why Easter changes every year, because on the Jewish calendar, that it's the Sunday following Passover, which was the celebration of the Jewish people's release from Egyptian bondage. So they came together for the Paschal feast. And Pascha is the Aramaic word which means Passover. And it was the feast of the Lamb, what was slaughtered to remember their release from bondage in celebration. And so people are journeying from far and near to Jerusalem for the Paschal feast. And they are all coming together, and they get together. It's kind of like our Christmas, right? Everybody gets together with family, friends, they're chanting, singing, and they're celebrating. And there was talk of this man named Jesus from Nazareth. That was the big talk of the year that year. And everybody is talking about it. And there was one woman who talked about how her sister had touched the hem of Jesus' gown and wondering if this guy is the Messiah. There's another guy who talks about he was a leper and he was separated from his family for years, and he was healed by Jesus and he's reunited with his family and friends. But most of all, they were talking about Lazarus. Jesus said, "Lazarus, come forth," and this guy was awakened out of the tomb and he comes out. Everybody wanted to meet the man who'd been dead. And they were all talking about this one family who had been there with the 5,000. And they had been listening to Jesus all day in his wonderful teachings. And they were all getting hungry. It was getting late in the day. And the disciples brought forth the 5 loaves and 2 fish. And he did something unheard of. In the Jewish tradition, you give thanks after the meal. No, Jesus breaks it, all the old traditions. He sits there and he prays and gives thanks, believing it's already so that everyone's going to be fed. And God, it was amazing. 5,000 people were fed, and more baskets were left over than those 5 loaves and 2 fishes. It was amazing. And people were excited. They were talking about this guy. Was he the long-awaited and anticipated Messiah? Could he possibly be? I don't know. So now I'm going to, you're all in their excitement, aren't you? This is what was going on. So this is from Matthew chapter 21, verses 1 through 9. This is what happened. When they had come near Jerusalem and had reached college, Jesus had asked 2 disciples to go into the village ahead, and immediately you will find a donkey tied and a colt with her. Untie them and bring them to me. If anyone says anything, you just say this: the Lord needs them. And they will send him immediately. And this took place to fulfill what had been spoken through the prophets, saying, look, your king is coming to you, humble and mounted on a donkey, and on a colt, the foal of a donkey. The disciples went and did as Jesus had directed them, and they found the donkey and the colt where the 2 went. They brought the colt and put their cloaks on him, and Jesus sat on him. And a very large crowd spread their cloaks on the road and their palm branches down. Others cut branches from the trees and spread them on the road and waved them in the air. And the crowds that went ahead of him and they that followed were shouting, Hosanna to the Son of David. Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna highest. That's what happened on Palm Sunday. And that was done so that it could fulfill the prophecy that the Jewish nation was waiting for, the eagerly anticipated Messiah. Messiah means the anointed one, which is why I brought the oil. And if anyone would like, I will anoint you at the end of this service to be the anointed one, because Jesus said, these things shall you do and greater. We are anointed. And in Greek, which is how the Bible was originally written, many of it was written in Arabic and in Greek. When it was translated to Greek, Messiah means Christos, which was where we get Christ from. So was he the Christ? And then I'm going to read you from Zechariah chapter 9, verse 10. What's really interesting, before the Apocrypha books are put in the Bible, the last book of the Old Testament, the Hebrew Scriptures, is Zechariah. And the first book of the New Testament to back. I find that interesting. So Zechariah chapter 9, verse 10. See, your king comes to you, triumphant and victorious he, humble and riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey. So just as Matthew is talking about, they were referring to that scripture, weren't they? And he did it to fulfill that prophecy at God's guidance. This is the account of the triumphant entry and refers to the entry into a higher realm of consciousness. And we push up because, I point up because higher, not because God's up there. God's in us and everywhere. But I point up to lift up our consciousness, because we get pulled down, don't we? We get pulled down by life's activities, by what's going on, by where we are and what we can do today that we couldn't do, we could do 5 years ago or even last year, right? We get brought down sometimes by these thoughts, but we can rise ourselves up in consciousness. So we were told they found the colt where the two ways met. And metaphysically, this represents the union of the head and the heart, about 13 inches, really far away, right? We get stuck in here. I don't know about you, but we need that intellect and our heart to come together to feel that spiritual place. Unless we ring the singing bowl like Janice does so great, right? You ring that and I'm right there. Aren't you? It takes me right there. I feel that presence. And I don't know about you. I meditate every morning, and I'm right there in that place of peace and calm and serenity. And then, I don't know, something happens. I'm walking the dog and a huge dog jumps out at me, or I'm driving my car and a car swerves in front of me, and I go right into my medulla oblongata and I'm in fight or flight. Anybody else? Something happens that takes you right there. Usually based on human experience, something's happened previously that takes you there, right? And then we're out, rocketed out of Christ consciousness. We're right in our human sense consciousness. But we have to come where the two ways meet to find that connection. And as Kathy does so well in the meditation, to Take that deep breath and remember to feel that presence. So they find this donkey where the two ways met, and they cover it, and Jesus rides it into Jerusalem. And in the Middle East, princes and noblemen would have never been caught dead on a donkey. This is for poor people. This is not for exalted people. But he was humble and triumphant riding in on this. And then it's still practiced in the Middle East today. Did you know that? They will put somebody who has got heretical views or has been a moral shaming character, and they'll ride him through on a donkey. So this was to show his lowliness and to follow in the ideas of the ancient rulers who walked with the common people, right? That's what they did. So Jesus wrote this in there not to be an earthly political king. He wrote it into there to be common, to be just like everybody else. And metaphysically, the donkey represents our animal human consciousness, right? And they put those cloaks and palm branches down beneath the feet so that first of all, they would do it for kings, right? To keep, so their feet wouldn't be soiled, right? They did this. That's why the red carpet's rolled out. So they're higher and above. And so they're giving him this, but it doesn't that's not what Jesus is there for. And it's going into Jerusalem, which is the city of peace, right? Consciousness. So Jesus, and I did tell you that. The colt represents spiritual wisdom. I forgot to say that point. So the donkey is the human consciousness, but the colt is the spiritual wisdom. So you've got these things laying there, and it's to represent our earth below us, our earthly human sense consciousness, represented by that donkey, are being blocked by the palm branches. Now, anybody ever have a palm leaf in their hand? They're prickly. They're really hard. They take forever in a compost pile to decompose. They are thick and hardy. That's palm branches to put between us and our human self so that we can rise up in consciousness. All this is going on in this story that we didn't even think about, right? At least I didn't until I figured this out. My parents didn't teach me this part. I was too, as a kid, I wouldn't have understood this. But that we can rise up in consciousness by putting between ourselves and our earthly human self. By what? Unity principle number 4, prayer and meditation. Going into our heart space, reconnecting with God. So I told you that Jesus represented the ideas of the ancient rulers, right? He was going back to the ancient rulers of Israel who walked with the leaders of his day, who put themselves above and apart. And he wasn't doing that. He successfully demonstrated non-political, non-material kingdom of God with his actions. And I strive to do that, to be non-political and non-material, not attached. I hope, I was saying to my husband's cousin yesterday, that if my house burned down, I don't think I would be okay, as long as I had the people I loved and the lockbox with all the important papers. So I guess I am kind of attached to those. But, I'm not attached to stuff. I really am not. And I think that is really good, to not be attached to our stuff. So Jesus' teachings were above that, above stuff, above our connections, all of these things. What really counts is the love and the teachings that he gave us. So Jesus, by coming into being in those 3.5 years, brought a transfusion in consciousness to race mind. And he advocated and lived these principles that we strive to live by today, 2,000 years later. I already told you that part. And when they said, Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna means praise. So we were supposed to give thanks and give praise, like they were coming to Jerusalem to give praise for their freedom from bondage, our freedom from bondage from sense consciousness, our freedom from being stuck in our repetitive thinking. Unity principle number 3, we co-create with God our world by our thoughts, words, and actions. And I don't know if that's the way it's in the hall, but that's the way it's in my head from years of teaching kids. But that's We change our thoughts. So every time we change our thoughts, we catch ourselves. I'm not thinking positive. I had a negative thought. If we catch ourselves, raise our hand, just like the kids, give ourselves a pat on the back so that we can rise in consciousness and have that spiritual transfusion in the moment to remember to lift up and rise up. So when we call God the Christ, we're calling him the Anointed One. The Christ the Christ of God is in us. God is in you. God is in me. God is in Ken. So we call him, it's like a surname. Ken the Christ. Nicole the Christ. Kay the Christ. Shubba the Christ. Penny the Christ. Roger the Christ. Julie the Christ. Joe the Christ. Ursula the Christ. Jody the Christ. Diana the Christ. Oh my God, I can't even remember your name. Mary the Christ. Blanche the Christ. Tell me your name again. I know your name. Susanna the Christ. Al the Christ. Jerry the Christ. And I'm going to call her Diana again because they go together. Lord, Anton the Christ. Did you see how I just put them together? Everybody's the Christ. So we're going to do it together. I'm Marygrace the Christ. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, and you're going to say your name, the Christ. And we're going to say the Christ really loud, okay? Like if we're kids, but I'll move the microphone down, okay? 1, 2, 3. Marygrace, the Christ. Okay, you got to say your name fast and then the Christ. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Marygrace, the Christ. There we go. We got it that time. We had to rehearse. Yes, and so sometimes it takes that, right? A little bit of rehearsal. We have that internal principle within us. We are filled with hope and infinite possibilities for tomorrow, the rest of the day, our future week, Easter Sunday, the rest of our journey here on planet Earth, to see what infinite possibilities it holds. What more of our soul's unfolding's journey is to come forth? What joys are we going to have? We're going to see them. We're going to look for the good. We're going to find it. We're going to rise up like those palm branches above our earthly human sense consciousness and rise into that spiritual nature that resides within our hearts. We're going to smile at our friends and strangers and neighbors in our communities. We're going to find the joy in our lives, as Jesus taught us, to love, ask, have faith, believing it's already so, and to forgive ourselves, to be the Christ inspection. Be triumphant now, as Jesus was that Sunday so many years ago, as we make our triumphant entry into Christ consciousness. Say it again. 1, 2, 3. Marygrace, the Christ. You are the Christ in expression. I see it. I behold it. You behold it this week. Namaste.
Oh, Divine Spirit, as we prepare our offerings, let us begin by doing our, let's see, what do we got going here? We get to start with our mission statement. So let's do our mission statement together. Unity Church in Reading is a reading center of God's unconditional love, embracing healing, spiritual nature, and service. And now let's bless our offering together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Abundance.
Some of you will know this song and you're welcome to sing along. I come to the garden alone while the dew and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks, and the sound of his voice is so sweet that birds hush their singing, and the melody that he gave to me within my heart is ringing. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I'd stay in the garden with him, though the night around me be falling, but he bids me go through the voice of woe, his voice to me still calling. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known.
And as our offerings have come forward, we hold in the light and in the love the giving of our talents, our time, our treasure, as it goes forward to fulfill the mission of unity. And so it is. Amen. And now if I could ask Nicole to come do our platform announcements.
Thank you. So first we want to, as always, acknowledge our volunteers, Jerry, Janice, Jack, Stefan for the lovely spring flowers. Thank you, everybody. So this week, the church office will be open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with a meditation at noon in the sanctuary or by calling in. If you would like prayer after service, remember you can see Reverend Ken, Kathy, or Diana. And as always, we have the 9:30 a.m. on Sunday prayer circle facilitated by Diana. So that's every week if anyone wants to come out and get some extra prayer in before church. The buyout of the Riverfront Playhouse is set for May 14th, and we have tickets on sale for now. The show is about, here's the name of it, Tohido, and it's about the rodeo. It has a rodeo backdrop. So you can see Kathy, right? If you want to purchase tickets. Okay. On 4/27th, that's 2 weeks from today, I'm going to be facilitating informational class on A Course in Miracles. If you've ever been interested or would like to learn more, feel free to come. It might have been what Marygrace was talking about, living Jesus' message. And the course is like a really, like, okay, let's do this. And your instructor is Jesus himself. So it's pretty awesome to make sure we're living it in our daily lives and kind of get back in touch with what we're doing throughout the day. So we're going to have the board of directors please stand. Mary, Kathy, Al, and Kay. Yay, thank you. We still have Jerry's Easter chocolates on sale in the fellowship hall. And we're going to plan on attending our prosperity class is beginning May 18th. We have our last Lent class today after service, so if you can stay for that, even if you haven't been to all the others, it's fine. You don't, they're all standalone. We will have Reiki every Tuesday from 4 to 5:30. We have Course in Miracles Thursday at 10. The Circle of Love Book Club at 1 o'clock on Thursday, and we're on that new book, It's Okay That You're Not Okay. And this Thursday at 4:17, we will be having the Maundry Thursday service at noon. So that's in place of the meditation, right? As always, we thank those who bring snacks for fellowship. If you wish to sign up, the list is in the kitchen, and we also need a Sunday host, so you can see Shelba regarding those duties. As always, check the bulletin board for the 12-step program meeting times, and we look forward to seeing you next Sunday here, or if you can't make it, on website or Facebook. And now we'll do our closing song.
One thing, directors, we also should have used their title because we also elected a new board in March after the annual meeting. So I would like to recognize Mary as being the board president, Kathy being our vice president, Kay being our treasurer, and Al being our secretary. So thank them for their service. And now for our closing song.
This one's for you, Al. For the world.
There be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin day by day. Let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now for our prayer of protection, we will do it as a call and response. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. And everyone, wherever God is, and so it is. And thank you. Go forth in the blessings of peace.